Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble. I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along. Armed strangers wandering into my camp for one. Some of my camp wandering out for another. Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals. Already got ourselves one of those. Yeah, that's us. And you can tell Thompson we're doing just fine by ourselves. If you're gonna start wandering around my... Aegea what? Look, plants ain't my purview. You're better off asking after Adelaide. Enough with the questions. No offense, but I've got a lot on my mind. You don't know what enough with the questions means? No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly... Can't imagine where... Appreciate it. If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear? I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Tom, are you staying long? A home for anyone who's ever turned their backs on Edgewater. So, like the spores of the puffball. It is an unpleasant story, dear. But the short of it is that sometimes one wakes up and realizes the home in which we spent our lives has left us behind, and so... Reed Thompson, you here on behalf of that cold... Let's hear it. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves. He would do such a thing. Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip 'em out of the cannery's gut. If you're going down to the plant, think about it. You'd be liberating and... You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the... You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and...
Look what they did to this child.
I'm all right. I ain't so fragile.
That was It's not much of a living. Every single person in that town has sold themselves to Spacer's Choice. The company owns them. Body, blood. All anyone ever does is toil over a cannery. They...
Where are we headed? Something you need? Ready when you are.
You hungry? So, you mean Zoe? Yeah, we were pretty close. Not like her to go loping off. Zoe was... You sound... The other day... Zoe and I were...
know anybody who ever came out this far.
No encore? Wow, you crossed them all off, like some sort of heroic accountant, right? Oh, well that's a shame. I mean, I could pay you in a... You, on the other hand, you... Why? Adelaide wants me back on garden duty or something? I doubt that. Nobody in that camp really cared about... Wait, you're telling me... I'll take my...
What is it? We didn't always get... You pretty much... Let me know...
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
Zoe says she fought her.
Here we go! Don't mess with us. Not a peep from me. I always wanted to poke around in here. control room should be ahead somewhere, and then up to the right. I hope we're doing the right thing. You took one down! Let's go! Three switches. That'll be easy enough. Dang, that's impressive. Great work.
Process.
Here they come! Get past that armor! Everyone all right?
Unexpected. Sweeping the...
Heading out. Two more. What'll happen to Miss McDevitt's folk if we send power to the Vale?
Get away!
No, just leave me alone. Go away, Phantom. You're not real. You're not real. Get away from me, Phantom. Shoo, scram. You can talk? The Phantom's never talked before. Well, I knew I shouldn't have eaten that sprat raw. See, Higgins? This is why you must always boil your sprats before ingesting. Of course. Do excuse me. I experience brief flashes of mania during which I am visited by the phantoms of my imagination. Chester D. Higgins. The D stands for definitely not insane. I use it as a reminder. Hard to say. By my reckoning, Higgins has been here somewhere between 2 weeks and forever. My recollection's a touch fuzzy these days. Oh, Higgins has been many things over the years. Sprat Wrangler, Saltuna Critic, Aetherwave Personality, Chairman of the Board, Galactic Defender, Sisty Pig Tycoon. I've come a long way for someone who started off as a simple engineer right here in this plant. Jimmy'd opened the vending machines. That lasted a good couple of months. Mechanicals lost their bolts. Opened fire. I was on cleaning duty at the time. My old boss had me scrubbing pipes when the killing. I specialized in automechanicals, drones, sentries, repair. Look, I don't want to fall into any trouble with the mechanicals. You know, you remind me of myself back when I was an intergalactic adventurer. I discovered a flaw. Their hostility levels were hardwired to maximum. There's no changing that, but you could rewrite their targeting protocol so they attack. Yes, that's exactly it. I see you're also versed in the noble art of mechanical engineering. There's a behavior control terminal in the other room. It should have options to change how the mechanicals act. Oh, that reminds me. You'll need my passcode to access the tail. Definitely start with the tail. Mechanicals lost their... You mean, why did the mechanicals go on a murderous rant? I was on cleaning...
Self-diagnostics complete. It's not the best choice. It's the spacer's. All systems fully operational. Return to hostile actions towards Spacer's choice in compliance with Spacer's choice. Affirmative.
Nicely done. Mind the scene. You're liable to get scalded. What happens to the veil?
When it beginning.
Here they come! Everyone all right? You got him!
Mechanicide protocols currently active. Unexpected.
Incoming! That's the last of them! The last. I'm not sure what the ride is. All I know is the Once we do this, there's no going back. Yeah, huh? Hey, mister? Do you... I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting, but the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk. Well, that sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, in Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserve... I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. Really? I think you did the rightest thing you could, sending the power back to Edgewater. Sorry, can't do that.
That's the thing about growing old. Your eyes. This is all you're doing. Cutting off my... I want to ask you this in private, away from the eyes of my flock, so they do not see me lose. You want my flock wasting their lives in that cannery? Fine. Go talk to Grace and Thomas. Look them in the eye and tell them, and you tell Reed Thompson that I will never return to Edgewater. My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you need to hear. As long as Reed is still in Edgewater, I will not return. Those are my terms.
Everybody keeps staring at me. It's not my fault the power's dead. Whoa.
Are you, are things safe out here?
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running.
Oh gosh, no, I'm just along with this.
I seen you wandering around. Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or... Fact is, I've been, well, lying. I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of...
Those are good. But
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you... I wish I knew. I wager the town had the full set once upon a time. Where the third's gone... Would you? I've been thinking about going back. I'm not much use to anybody here. I get sick. I mentioned those manuals on mechanical engineering. What? Luck, mostly. Nothing's... Well, not until the power went and cut out. Couple months. I owe them my life. Would have died in the... We all left the cannery for one reason or another. I mean, I was incompetent. I couldn't even survive.
you weren't incompetent. You just didn't fit the cannery.
You could stay, you know. Here. I'd be happy to... I mean, we could really use... This isn't coming out. Any luck finding what...
I don't know what you did to talk some sense into Zoe, but I appreciate it. The matter's been weighing on me. Zoe came back, but I couldn't keep her from I don't see us lasting more than a couple of weeks out here. I'm loath... Listen, we go back to Reed, hat in hand, begging for our old jobs back. Well, Adelaide's not gonna... Edgewater's not just a town to Adelaide. It's a symbol of everything that's wrong with this colony. A big, heartless... We're the closest thing Adelaide's got. Sure.
Look at that. The snake. You offering... Kill Reed if... Tell Reed that I can make his people healthy again. I can end their plague. Start a new garden right in the cannery. Tell him how I've made the vale bloom again. The soil has whispered it. The secret is human corpses. I've been grinding them up in my fertilizer-free... Edgewater Cemetery's got corpses aplenty. Enough for a generation's worth of crops. Look at that.
This is a fine day, friend. Power flows through our town like a cool... I trust Adelaide's people have seen... Then we are at an impasse. Stewardship over this town has been entrusted to me by Spacer's Choice. I am not perfect. I have made my share of mistakes, but I have done my best for this town. I have been holding this town together with both hands. You can't just expect me to leave. I am a Spacer's Choice man. My father was a Spacer's Choice man. Edgewater may not look like much to some buttoned-up freelancer, but it is my home. I don't believe you. Plague's a reality of life. Best treatment is a good work ethic. You are disparaging our parent company, and it is not appreciated. We are a Spacer's Choice Saltuna cannery. We eat Saltuna here, and only Saltuna. Processed, liquefied, retextured Saltuna rendered in a chemical bath, of course. Well, mostly Saltuna. We've been experiencing a Saltuna shortage, you see. So we've had to improvise. We've added wood chips, some mushrooms, bit of sand, tossed some canid bits. Couple years, give or take, right around the time the first wave... Now listen, I do not know what pretty rhetoric Adelaide has... You'll excuse me for being skeptical. How exactly is Adelaide growing crops in barren soil? And when you say special fertilizer, you mean what exactly? Adelaide has been using dead bodies in her fertilizer? That's... Come to think of it, that's a stroke of brilliance. What a remarkably efficient solution. Recycling Spacer's Choice property long after its date of expiration. I was wondering about those missing bodies in Silas's cemetery. So Adelaide wants me gone. Trade my life for the life of the town. You understand what she's doing. If I leave town, I am as good as dead. If I stay, Edgewater will die of attrition. Adelaide has discovered some secret cure for the plague, and she is holding my town ransom. If Adelaide's found a way to feed her people and cure the plague, then she deserves this office more than I do. I won't stand in her way. My life here is ended. Give me a little time to settle my affairs. I'm sure Adelaide will be glad to see the back of me. A couple months ago, I might have put in for a transfer. It's a big colony. Spacer's Choice has other towns. Now, I couldn't show my face in any of them. No such thing as an honorable resignation. Suppose I could find a place outside the walls, or put in for early retirement. I don't know. I could see myself lasting a week. I do. Adelaide's found a cure for the plague, and she knows how to... I have always tried to do right by my town.
Where are we headed? That's on account of how I never met her. I don't rightly know. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here. It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high levels. He's just interested in fixing stuff. He never told me a word to that effect. And since he didn't, I didn't have to say nothing about it. If he wants to learn about engineering, we should... So, what's the plan?
Look at that. I never thought I'd see the day that Reed... Suppose it's time, our flock. You're vexing to me, you know? Injuring us with one hand, helping us with the other. Here. This don't put us on even footing, you understand. But it is a start. I might turn that old cannery into a garden. Got ourselves a whole cemetery bursting with bodies. I need some time to get...
That was a good thing you did, Captain. Helping to bring the deserters...
Huh? Gonna find you!
I'm on it! Got it! Look at us! Is this your ship? Oh, my Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was I'm the only decent mechanic Edgewater's got, but... Well, it's kind of you to say that. And you're right. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But... can I come with you? And if you ever need a pair of eyes... I mean, thanks, Captain.
Captain, I have detected that Edgewater's power supply is now optimal. I applaud your willingness to invest your time in the local community. What can I do for you, Captain? Do you know how to install a power regulator? Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove in our engine room is located
Where are we headed?
What can I do for you, Captain? All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities. We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Aha, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Oh, that, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and the Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me. Gladys Kelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the ground. Strictly speaking, Monarch is a moon, terraformed badly, and almost completely lawless. You'll love it. Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys Kelly. Without a skip drive, good luck. You'll be dead before you make it to the nearest star. Look, I admire your optimism, but the sad truth is you're stuck here. None of us are leaving Halcyon alive, so we may as well make it a better place. Gladys and I have been doing business for years. Her smuggling... In theory, I suppose you could land your ship in Cascadia, and in theory, I suppose you might survive the experience. Cascadia is utterly seething with danger. You'd have to be a lunatic to land in Cascadia, and I'm reasonably certain I tested your brain for incipient signs of insanity. Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own. I call it the holographic shroud. I'm sure it will prove marvelous device. I'm quite proud of myself. The shroud change. It has limits. First-generation technology. Very simply, the holographic shroud only stands up to a casual scrutiny. Use it too long, bound to flicker. Best used in moderation. Maintain your distance. Act normal. No running, no jumping. Excellent. I'll come. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart... We've arrived at the groundbreaker.
Hey, Cap. Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson? I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing a... I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. Thanks, Captain. I'll be... Did you want to talk?